This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice.
All right, with that out of the way, let's jump in. Today, we're going to break down what's happening in the current market, talk about some key strategies, and then put a few of the biggest tech stocks under the microscope. So, here's what we've got on tap. We'll kick things off with the overall market climate, then get into some strategies for this kind of volatility. After that, we'll put a spotlight on some specific tech stocks, and we'll wrap up by looking at what could really move the markets next. Okay, let's get right into it with the current market climate. And right now, it's really a tale of two different markets, or two indices playing by their own rules.
So what do I mean by that? Well, the market's got this real split personality right now. On one hand, you have the broad S&P 500, which has actually kept its winning streak going. But then you look at the tech-heavy NASDAQ, and it just posted its first down month since way back in March. So what's causing this split? Well, a few things are likely at play. For one, we're seeing strength broaden out beyond just those mega-cap tech stocks. The market also just seems to be taking a breather, consolidating after that huge rally. And it's all happening on pretty low volume. It just kind of feels like a market that's in correction mode.
All this choppiness brings up a really important question, right? How are people supposed to approach a market like this? Let's talk about some strategies for trying to find opportunities when things feel so uncertain.
One strategy you hear a ton about when the market gets shaky is buying on pullbacks. The idea is pretty simple. Instead of seeing a price drop as a reason to panic, you view it as a potential opportunity to buy shares a little cheaper.
So what does that actually look like? Well, it's really about having a system. Step one is you find a stock you really believe in for the long haul. Then you might start buying after it's had a decent drop, maybe 10 or 15%. And if it keeps falling to, say, 20%, you take another look and decide if you want to add more. It's all about a measured approach, not trying to time the bottom perfectly. And this all comes down to a fundamental shift in mindset. It's based on this long-standing idea that for investors with a longer time horizon, these big downturns aren't an exit sign. They can actually be an entry point.
Okay, that's the theory. But let's see how this stuff is playing out in the real world. We're going to zoom in on a few tech stocks where analysts are watching some really key technical patterns develop.
First up, Meta. It's been getting a ton of attention since it fell off its highs. What analysts are pointing to is this potential inverse head and shoulders pattern. Now, that's just a classic chart pattern that can sometimes signal a downward trend might be about to reverse.
And this is where it gets really interesting. These are the key battleground levels traders are watching. If Meta closes below that $636 support level, it might need to dip lower to complete the pattern. But if it can break out and close above $648, well, that could be the signal for a bigger move up, with many eyeing that 200-day moving average around 670.
And yeah, Meta is definitely not alone here. Check out some of these other big tech names. They've seen even bigger pullbacks over the last month, putting them squarely on the radar. AMD and NVIDIA are both down more than 15%.
And if you look across the tech sector, you see similar stories popping up. With AMD and Tesla, people are watching for a potential double bottom. That's another pattern that can suggest a stock is finding a floor. And for Netflix, you're hearing about bullish divergence. That's when the price makes a new low, but the momentum indicators don't, which can hint that selling pressure is running out of steam.
Okay, so we've got all these technical setups, all these stocks that have pulled back, but what could actually light the fuse and make these stocks move? What are the big events on the horizon we need to watch?
Yeah, this is really the million-dollar question as we round out the year, isn't it? What or who is going to provide that next big push for the market, one way or the other?
And really, it all comes down to one thing: the Federal Reserve. Everyone is watching that upcoming FOMC meeting on December 9th and 10th. The interest rate decision is obviously huge, but what might be even more important is the commentary that comes with it. That's what's going to set the tone for the rest of the year.
So the bottom line is the market is just waiting. It's on edge, holding its breath, and looking for some kind of clear signal from the Fed. Whatever happens there will likely decide if we get that traditional year-end Santa rally or if this weakness continues.
Thanks for watching this video overview on 15-Minute Investor.